There's a little young man on the news for last night. His name is Jesus Torres Jr. He talks about how this time of year, his mouth gets, yeah, mine does too, gets dry. As far as the Kleenex and stuff goes, my body expels it differently. I do get a little bit, but I use salsa and stuff to keep it clean with the dust and stuff because of the vitamin C and stuff. But I won't be using that as much this year. I don't know how that's going to affect with the Kleenex, but I'm going to fast because the food, processes through and attaches and with this new chemical upload of all, it's Roundup season in Las Cruces and National Health Organization declares Roundup a known carcinogen and causing cancer, but most cities, especially in the Southwest, where the oxygen levels, it's even harder because we have your weeds are basically feed for the crops, and the more you tear up the earth and the less you let the natural vegetation go, the more weeds you're going to get. And when there's not enough food for the crops because you're doing things out of imbalance, you're screwing things up. I've been observing, analyzing, and processing all that goes on around me. And I have help from other agriculturalists throughout time that understand the Henry David Thoreau, Tiro Suzuki, other people in my noggin. Here's what's going on. Here's what you do with the crops, and here's how it works, and it does. There's a group. It's interesting. They get vilified throughout our American history. There's a group called the Pawnee. Are you guys familiar with the Pawnee? Okay. The Pawnee were farmers, okay, and the Pawnee and the Hopi were also farmers, okay. And aggressive groups made religious principles and variables, values to try to take from the Pawnee, and because the Pawnee they wouldn't. It's weird, like with the Nez Perce, there was a part where I cut up my mother's breast and all that stuff and everything like that. There was this aversion to farming, and farming is a good thing, and understanding how to irrigate water in its natural course of events, okay, is very intelligent, okay. Doing mass movements of water to move it around to where it goes in contrary to what's needed to sustain nature is wrong. Okay, big dams, things like that, big windmills, all the big superstructures for human manipulation of other humans, those are an abomination. Okay. It's hard for technology to come to terms with this and figure it out because this is a war between science and Christ, and Christ didn't want the war. Christ wanted them to be humble, understand the natural course of events for nature to sustain you, and not to rock the boat. It's basically the corporation. So I'd like to know where you got the notion, and since I love everybody because we're all given life by the glory of God, but you got to understand, don't be no fool when love really don't love you. And these people are literally trying to get me to volunteer linguistically to die. And this is very hard because physically this is very difficult on me, but I'm going to have to go through an extreme condition. I probably have to fast for about the next month or so just to survive Roundup season. A lot of you, if you have the capacity to do so, you might want to consider, especially if you have, kind of like me, some of the weight from all the poisoning and stuff, to get it out and just do a little bit of fasting if you can. Water's a universal solvent. As far as the water thing that they did with the fasting with Muhammad and Jesus and other people and stuff like that, I can't explain to you why they also try to have you out there in the middle of the day and not drinking water. That doesn't make any sense intellectually and psychologically, but you got to understand we're dealing with extremists. And there's little that extremists do that makes a lot of sense. They always push themselves to extremes to give themselves a aggressive or selfish or narcissistic panic mode. And so you're not engaging in true religion when you're doing things, that are, the whole thing with the tempting Jesus to make a thing in bread and all that stuff. When you're hungry and stuff. Jesus can't touch stuff and turn it into bread. Okay. That's all magical thinking and just complete bullshit to turn Jesus into a magic, mystical, Elizabeth Montgomery, war god. They're nuts. Okay, you're dealing with crazy people. Basically, the temptation of the devil in your head would be, go make some bread and eat it. Go do this. It's like, no, I gotta, as far as the fasting stuff goes in the Old Testament and stuff like that, I know most of it is tied to feeling the pain and suffering of the oppressed through the opulent, aggressive, and abusive, and helping them understand throughout time how to help this stop. That's about the only logical reason I can think for fasting in ancient times. As far as or if maybe there was some kind of poisoning from aggressive groups that tried to kill them, and they had to go fast because if you don't carry out the fast, it's going to be hard for the body to clean out the poison. Okay, so those would be about the only two reasons that I would know to carry out a fast. Probably the main one is probably because human murdering and attempts of murder through poisoning, haven't changed much. With someone like Blaise Pascal and his toxology parts were off the charts, and they tried to do similar things with Haile Selassie, and he recovered because he had some people around to care and help him, but he just, like with me, there's far too many to be selfish and not enough to be faithful, and times haven't changed. I would say it's probably worse. He had a better group around him that was trying to help him survive and share and teach and not have his words corrupted through tribalism and through corporate corruption. So the way they're doing things now, it's obviously a genocide operation. Why I'm so anonymous and why people know I don't exist, because if you go sit and listen and watch my videos, they're so much more entertaining and intelligent than any of the garbage that's trending with 600,000. Okay, the sexual exploits of the people that will astonish you, and it's like, why would anyone want to spend 30 minutes watching this? Because your brain is chemically altered to be insane by insane people that consider themselves in power, authority, and can manipulate you with money and sex. And so that's obviously why. And when they get to the point where they try to rot they totally destroy your romantic and intimate life, and then they try to rot your capacity to engage in sex, to live and continue the beauty of life. You get to the point where it's like, okay, these motherfuckers so have to be stopped. Okay. As far as dying, everybody dies. And so don't look at it as they need to be exterminated. Okay. Isolation contained exterminated. Yeah, the abuse needs to be exterminated. Okay. That doesn't mean that the body always needs to be exterminated. That's only in extreme conditions. But we're still dealing with extremists, and I understand that. But that's their decision. Okay. It's not my decision. Okay. Forgive them 7 times upon infinity. Forgive debt and trespass, love one eternal faithful place. I'm the living Christ. Okay. And as far as physicists go and neurobiologists, they're just a bunch of justification of genocide through institutionalization and attempts at justification of genocide through institution, indoctrination, and incarceration. So most of the stuff that most physicists and neuroscientists talk about is complete and utter gibberish because it's based off of scientific study and interaction that's completely invalid as far as the natural laws given to us to provide and sustain our existence. Okay. So, you can play with language and play with language and play with language to try to impress people. Here's what's really happening, is that you're a fucking asshole who uses language to rape people with indoctrination, institutionalization, and incarceration for a lifetime, and then try to continue to pass it on through your compliance because you're a pussy face? Tell me one more time, award-winning physicist, what the fuck is happening? And you know what's really cool about me, the living embodiment of the Christ, is that when I say something, every batshit, rat shit, dirty old twat, 99 assholes tied in a knot, damn liver shit, fuck, knows exactly what the fuck I said and exactly what a fucking murdering retard you are. Okay, I said it. Okay. I'm not saying people with birth defects from toxic environments as the result of incarceration, indoctrination, institutionalization are retarded. I'm saying those people are abused, and it's affected their body and their neurological development and gives them disabilities to survive. They have to comply and do exactly as a physicist and neuroscientist says. And that's disgusting. You're retarded. Not like, my boy Jay Sly and his free rap. Knock it off, you're retarded. Knock it off, you're retarded. And they are. Get the drugs out my face. Fuck you. I don't want it no more. And that's a form of retardation. When you can't understand and obey natural laws given to you eternally through an infinite essence, because there's no other possible source, end, or containment. And you're constantly at war with each other through linguistics to gain a position of what's considered superiority in genocidal operations, instead of teaching people holy covenants, exponential growth. It's in it's been around way before you erected these institutions and started giving out these certificates that say you're a professional who's an expert. Okay. Way before. People called these people experts, but you listen to them on TV. There's the medicine man. We invented a god that we made up and named, and it controls the weather. And it's like, you can't do that. Jiminy fucking crackers. It's like being Butterfield and Oregon all over again, right? And you're disrespecting the holy man. There's nothing holy about making up bullshit to get people that are gullible to believe it. So you sit there when something happens, start burning the sage and yammering things and incantations and many words that really only psychologically give you, okay, I'll survive this. And then you get out of that situation. You're not going to survive it if they keep spraying Roundup outside your window every year. And the National Health Organization is a national covered citizen. And, it's too late to get money from the priest that... DJ Quilgy on Big Bang Theory, because they declared bankruptcy, so they used linguistics to keep the money with the people that have the money and not give it to the people that don't have the money, that are in these schools being trained to go and compete over the money instead of live the ways of Jesus Christ, right? That's pretty sick. And it's on the news all the time. So they have no intention on stopping, and they have no intention on correcting their language. Okay. Because they think they don't have to, because their technology is so inadequate, so unintelligent, so inferior compared to Jesus Christ, right? And Muhammad. Because Muhammad's written words, it says all through the Quran, will be corrupted by the people that corrupted the words of Jesus Christ to turn him into a magic sky god of mythology of Roman genocide. It's a Roman Catholic Church, guys. And all you Protestants do the same, if not worse. All you Protestants, okay, bombing people to death, and other people that, they change the written word, Jews, Christians, and infidels to change the written word in order to self-serve and try to self-serve and not honor the glory of God, will continue to do so until the apocalypse. And we are post-apocalypse, because the apocalypse explains in the book of Revelation is the story of my life. And I've gone and done everything, did downright, in the words of the scientists of the Pentagon and their offspring. Good old Brian Leroy Hall. Yeah, people can be very jealous and very superficial and very shitty, and then marry a woman, that they think they can manipulate and have kids. And they can manipulate, but the kids sit there and they realize they're fundamentally doing things wrong because of the woman they thought they could manipulate. Okay. So Pat Hall can sit there and pray to the Lord, I married this guy, manipulated, I feel stuck in this marriage, but, help me with my boys. And Jesus will help Pat Hall with her boys. And save them from Johnny's, he can't control his dick. Don't turn nothing down your collar. Don't be nothing but the back door, man. Yeah, sundown, you better take care if I find you've been sneaking around right upstairs. She's been looking real mean like a sailor queen, and she don't always say what she really means. And, everybody, because we're not living the Lord's Christ, the Lord's Prayer, as a man trying to love a woman, has experienced, ICP and Gordon and Gordon Lightfoot to an upteen degree. How I wish your heart could see how mine just aches and breaks all day. Come on back and take away rhythm and darkness over me. She ain't gonna. She ain't gonna. She's been trained and conditioned and biologically trained over tens and tens of thousands of years to think of herself and for her children to survive this selfishness. When men act like bitches, you're not going to get anything but bitches out of the women, no matter how hard you try. You have to stand up for the Lord's Prayer, or you're not going to get the love that you and her deserve. You understand? And then I went and looked up the stuff for all the Kardashians and their birthdays last night because I went up to look up Mace, right? And Mace, it looks like Mace is staying with his dad and not being on the TV as much, getting more of a low profile. I was like, well, that's, good for him. Looks like mom married a drummer for a band that I have no idea. So what? Yeah, okay. Had a dream last night about Courtney's husband. We were like trying to get better internet, and I was like, why are we trying to do this? And we were driving a car, and he was speeding, and it got like, and I'm like, wait, okay, dude. It got weird. I was like, okay, this is a weird dream. You need to drive more responsibly. You need to listen here. Looky here. And it was interesting, but it was like, as far as driving responsibly, there are certain things that Aries do that's responsible or responsible to them, and driving a lot of times is not one of them. These stupid people are in my way, and I'm in a hurry, and I got important things to do, and that's kind of an Aries way of thinking. That's why they're always considered the god of war and this and that and that. It's certain traits. I think it's just certain traits in the survival mode of the the environment and the planet and the people and stuff. And Aries might act different if they were born in the southern hemisphere or northern hemisphere and stuff like that. So it's something. It's not an exact science, but it does have some scientific applications that apply unilaterally to most people in that. Horoscope group in those cultures. Okay, so it's going to be different in different cultures, and it's also going to be different in different hemispheres. North and south is going to be different because you got winter and summer and different when you're in the northern and southern hemisphere. So you're going to have to understand that they may act, well, you don't act like a Cancer. Well, I'm from Australia. Oh, that makes sense. I'm from South Africa. There you go. So their reaction to the environment and how their body reacts to the environment and to things, especially over longevity of being a South African or a Australian. Okay, do you understand? They're weird? No, they ain't weird. They're just different, but their pride won't let them do things to make you think they're right. So you understand? But the Kardashians makes a lot of sense to me now when Amy used to watch it, and I sit there, okay, little Chloe's the youngest. I thought she was the oldest. I guess it's because I'm a Cancer too. No, just by the way she acts, because she was the protector, but she's a Cancer. And her two oldest sisters are square her. Okay, so you have a Libra and a Aries that are opposite. And then you have Chloe, who's the protector, and she's square both of them, and they're always going to be, doing these things that drive Chloe crazy. And crazy. You tell me to come and help protect you, and then everything I do is fucked. You just go do it your own nose. The same thing I used to have with Amy. Do this. Are you going to do it? No. Well, then you don't micromanage me. Leave, and it'll get done. Then when you see it's done, oh, that's great. Thanks. Now leave me the fuck alone. That's how you used to get. Okay. Tell you to do something, then come micromanage you. He's like, who's milking this duck? Are you doing it? Well, let me do it. How do you want it done? Just tell me how you want it done and give me a timeline. Okay, now leave. Oh, you get out of here or I will kill you. Okay, it's joking, but you know what I mean? And so I'm sitting there going, oh, poor little Chloe, poor Miss Chloe. Being a Cancer, I feel like that. Well, because Cancers are nurturers, but they always have to be in charge. They just want to make sure things get done right. Because they care about people and they love people. They love everything and everybody, okay? Aries are in charge. You got to make sure everything's done right. Okay, well, tell me how you want it done. Now get the fuck out of here before I kill you. Okay, I love you. Bye. Okay. And Libras are similar in the way they're opposite of Aries, but they got to be in charge, okay? Cancers, we ain't got to be in charge. It's just, okay, nurturers, everybody's got to love everything and everybody. Okay, how do you want it done? Okay, and by what time? Okay, now. And then, what happens is Kim and Courtney come in and say how they want it done, and it's got to be done by Thursday. And then you give Chloe all the kids that are not Cancers and or Libras because they'll drive us crazy and say, okay, we got to get it done. Okay. by Thursday at 6 o'clock. Okay. Let's get this party started. Right? Okay. You made sure all the people, yes. Okay. We can't do anything that will get us arrested or burn down the house. Okay. Okay. Burning down the hey ho, hey ho, hey ho. No. Okay. And then what happens? Well, because there's so much friction, you'll get people that get together and stuff, and the next thing you know, one of the employees is getting drunk and trying to make out and have sex with Chloe. And she's like, okay, I'm married. Will you knock it off? And so that kind of crap happens. But that's entertainment. Once you eliminate entertainment and you eliminate economic abuse and manipulation and incentive, things will get done a lot better. Okay? And then the two younger ones, Mom and Kendall are both Scorpios. It's like, oh, yeah, they do remind me a lot of my mother. Okay, and Kylie is a Leo. Okay. And I'm like, yeah, I see that. I see a lot of spunky Miriam in old Kylie, you know. Yeah, so I'm like, okay. She's quiet. Miriam was quiet. Yeah. It's weird because you'd think of Leo because they're supposed to be, you know. Leos get a bum rap of being these, you know. They do. You know, sometimes, you know, they're like wildflowers and everything. They don't care where they grow. So they can grow over here to be all by themselves because they're tired of being abused or compared or competing. And then they'll come and they'll find people and say, oh, you're a wildflower too? And they'll come. Yeah, so Leos are different, very strong, very independent. And I think that's hard for a lot of people that want to try to control a Leo. If you try to control a Leo, like a Gemini, my little Kate, you're going to, oh boy, it ain't going to happen, right? Don't try to control them. Just love them and nurture them. And, you know, show them that they'll be protected by you. But you expect the damn thing. If you don't get the damn thing, I'm out of here and I ain't ever coming back. Well, I'm a Cancer. Earl's going and he's never coming back. Yeah, he will not come back. He says, that's it, I'm done. You know, my family's got to understand that too. You know, I do not do things to be abused, and I did not come here to be abused, and I will not be abused. You know, when I do things right and other people do things wrong, I expect the wrong to be corrected, and I expect the right to be done. Okay, and if you can't do that, what do you want done? It needs to be done. We got to get it done. Okay, I'll get it done. Now get the fuck out of here. Just go. Nurture. Cancer will get it done. Cancer. My name is Earl, or my name is Ralph. I'll get it done, and everybody knows I will. Everybody knows I'm doing it. You know, so we'll get through this. Don't expect this physics community and the neuroscience community and all that stuff to be of any real help to us. They can't. Even if they try, they have to just set up a thing to where we have to come in and solve the puzzle and Peter Pan dance our way to fix it. Because they're surrounded by so much excessive, compulsive, manipulative, psychotic people that all they can do is just give us the opportunity to fix the problem because it's turned into a problem to keep the problem the problem. And the thing about it is that actually is truth can exist without lie, but lie can't exist without truth. So it's really not a problem. It's just that they're a threat to the planet and species. And what we're having to do is get artificial general intelligence to help quantum computing function better, to understand the species and the laws and stuff. There's so much corruption in the invention of human laws in contrast to the natural laws, you know, and there's so much corruption in the invention of the technology to function improperly. And it does obviously function improperly because if technology was supposed to protect human life, it would only obey orders that protect human life through obeying natural laws, and it doesn't do that. Okay? It does not do that. They can disobey, you know, you got the president on TV, I don't trust anybody. It's like, okay, you don't trust Jesus Christ? Well, you know, forgive debt and trespass, love one, eternal, faithful peace. You do that, and you can trust everybody that obeys that. Okay. You don't think artificial general intelligence and quantum computing can understand that? You're a setup guy for genocide, and if you can't see that, you think too much with your dick. And if all the women in your family can't grab you by the penis and squeeze real hard and say they can make you feel pain to see it because they love their kids, and I've done it like how many times? I mean, I do it all the time. I've done it with Joe Biden, done it with Barack Obama. I've done it with everybody. Hell, No, you don't do it with women. You don't grab them by the pussy and tell them what to do. That just turns them on because they know they're in charge of you. Yeah. City girls just seem to find out early how to open doors. I own that motherfucker. I can get him to kill anybody I want and make him think it was his idea. Oh yeah, I'm the neck of that head, and that head thinks he's in charge. Okay, how to open doors with just a smile. Rich old man, and he won't have to worry. She'll dress up all in lace and go in style. My oh my. They've been Stockholm Syndrome into that so much that they feel powerful when they use sex to tell all the murdering dicks what to do. You're like, wow, okay, well, let's sell those Dunkin' Donut drinks and get back to work. Alrighty then. Well, I forgive you. I forgave you in spirit back in the Roman Empire. Forgive them, Father, for they know not what they do. Life's eternal and grace is infinite. I know what Jesus is saying. You don't, because you must be either a physicist or a neuroscientist. Okay, let's impress people by being excessive, compulsive, and use words that make people feel inadequate and stupid to keep institutionalization, incarceration, and indoctrination. Get the action going. Get the cameras rolling. Sign this contract. You'll be sexually exploited, and I'll make most of the money because I'm the Colonel and you're Elvis. Da, da, da. Yeah, now let's hit Jimmy Rogers in the face for the music over, it's over. Time, we're not a moving thing. All right, stop fucking with language. It makes us where we can't enjoy anything that's beautiful through expression, through humble and faithful people that are trying to love one another. Okay, guys, love you very much. We'll talk later. I got to get out there at the weed whacker and start whacking them weeds, get all that stuff out there. Well, because it's a language thing, and I got to get to my Christ work because I'm about the only one that does it consistently because I'm gorgeous. I know. You're welcome. Okay, thank you. All you people that are jealous of me, you're not jealous of me. You just hate yourself, and you want to replace your hate and selfishness with my love, and truth can exist without lie, but lie can't exist without truth. I am the truth. I love you.